So, politics. In a word, Supreme Court, not surprised, but holy shit, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck? My God, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck? Okay, let's dial it back to something that actually makes a little bit more sense. It's not any more pleasant, it just makes more sense. And that, my friends, would be, no matter how you look at it, it was kind of a disaster. The presidential debate last Thursday. Now, the only thing that makes it not a disaster is that almost nothing that we saw was, well, for lack of a better word, a surprise. I don't think most of us, if we're being honest, were that surprised by Biden. I don't think most of us, if we're being honest, were that surprised by Trump. And if we've been paying attention to CNN, we're not that surprised by what they did, or more accurately, what they didn't do. I guess we knew that they might not fact check. We just didn't realize the extent to which they literally didn't fact check a goddamn fucking thing. And some of the shit coming out of, I mean, did Biden forget stuff and get some things confused and ramble off a little bit and a few other things, none of which are exactly good. But yeah, okay, he did that. But he did not bold-facedly say things that were flat out 100% untrue that he made. I don't even know. Half the time you know that Trump says shit that he knows isn't true. And the other half the time you don't know, you know shit that he doesn't know whether it's true. And the other times he doesn't care whether it's true. I mean, his relationship with the truth, he doesn't know what the truth is, and he doesn't care what the truth is. It's whatever suits his fancy. And the two biggest areas that got me personally were his claims about abortion, which were, I mean, some of them made no sense and we knew they were lies, and then some of them really made no sense and we knew they were lies. Like his stuff about, oh, everybody was against Roe v. Wade. No, they're not now. They weren't then. That's not what the polls say. That's not what a lot of people I know say. That's just not fucking true. Like, just not. And then he waffled on half the shit. Like he basically spoke out of both sides of his mouth. Oh, I didn't get rid of abortion, but I kind of did. Like, dude, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Like, if you did this, at least own up to it. And he kind of did do it, because via the Supreme Court, nobody's saying he didn't. Well, there are people saying he didn't, but sorry, that's actually in response to a dry mouth as much as the politics. So I'm taking another swig now. You know, one of the things that disturbs me about the debate is the number of people on both sides who are complaining about Biden's performance. I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, he had arguments, he had the facts. Trump didn't even answer the goddamn fucking question half the time. Like, did not answer the fucking question. And I've noticed this about more and more Republicans, like in the comment fields when I get talking to them, is they will dance around basic questions. And by basic questions, usually I mean, like, I'll ask them whether or not they support Trump. And instead of being able to say, oh, yep, they're like, well, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no, I'm asking you very straight up, yes or no. Because, like, if the answer is maybe, then you're a dumbass. Like at least have the intelligence to own up and say that you do. I mean, I'm not... Yeah. Anyways, I don't know if I told you all the story of back when I was in high school, and I went to this thing. It's called Boys State and Girls State. It's kind of like mock government. Well, near the end of the week, you like elect the governor or president, whatever you want to call it. And I learned a very, 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 very big lesson about politics in that moment, and that is that far, far, far too often, it's all flash and razzle. Because the guy who won, he got up there and he basically said nothing. And then I've got a buddy that guy I went to high school with, anyways, who got up and, he's slightly physically handicapped, think Biden and his stutter and whatnot. So he didn't come across as polished, but he had valid points, and he said what he meant, and he meant what he said, but he lost to this guy who just basically said nothing, but he was polished, and he came across as confident. And I mean, yes, confident is good. All things being equal, confident is good. All things being equal, polished is good. But the problem is, it outweighs substance far too often. And that's some scary ass shit right there, okay? That should not be happening, but it does, obviously. I mean, so I don't have the energy to go into it, but SCOTUS on Friday was scary. You combine SCOTUS on Friday with SCOTUS on Monday, and it's like, are we even gonna have an election? Like I'm not kidding. Like, if this keeps happening, I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to say, hey, the sky is falling, but the sky is kind of falling. I mean, like, if it's I'm not going to say that the sky is not falling if the sky is fucking falling. And right now, it might be inching down instead of falling, but it ain't staying in place either, okay? You hear me? It ain't staying in place. The sky should be staying in place, and it's not staying in place. Yeah, that was kind of a reference back to global warming, but kind of only barely, sort of. The crazy world we live in, and I don't mean that in a good way. Well, usually I would mean that in a good way. Right now, I do not mean that in a good way. No. Okay, here we go. Okay, I will try and crank out one or two additional vids like this before or during Wednesday, but for now, stay out of the heat if you're anywhere like we are, and stay out of the rain if you're anywhere like Albuquerque was a couple days ago when they got flash floods. And just try and stay out of the heat if you were anywhere like southern New Mexico with the fires. So just stay safe, folks. Try not to kill anybody. That's not a joke. Try not to kill yourselves. Not a joke. Just stay aware, but not too aware. You know what I'm saying? Find some solid people or some solid news sources. Make sure you stay aware, but limit your time with the news, at least politically speaking, because you're gonna want to perform violent acts on random people otherwise, and that's not gonna help things. And I mean, it's not going to help it to do it. It's not going to help it to have that level of stress either. Like, just neither of those. Unless, like, you do martial arts or something, and you go out and you deliberately, methodically hit things and whatnot. That's different. But short of that, you know, wanting to hurt people, probably not a good thing. Yeah, take care.